Hi and welcome back to Love on the Brain. I'm your host, Kay Van Dunk, and I help independent women who are single, divorced, or widowed find their soulmates while staying true to their high standards. In each episode, we dive into a frustrating question you may have about love. I'll share some insights, and then we'll reframe it with an affirmation or askformation to help you lift your spirits. If you haven't already, please subscribe and leave a great review on whichever platform you're listening to this podcast on. Your reviews help other amazing singles find this podcast too. Okay, let's jump into it. This episode is one I keep seeing over and over in different ways, and the question is this gender war stuff messing with my view on love? So basically, I see people complaining a lot about gender wars who tend to be chronically online. They are all over their socials. They're on different websites, maybe in the message forums, constantly talking with other people about what they're seeing in the dating wars and the manosphere, and just basically in this echo chamber. But a lot of the time, once you log off, these issues are not a thing. What it is you're seeing a lot of these content producers, whether they're influencers or podcasters or even journalists writing articles on this stuff, they are just creating content and feeding it into your timeline, into your algorithm. And that's the kind of stuff that makes it seem more prevalent than it really is. Really, what this content is made to do is create negativity. And in marketing and sales, let's be real, fear is a really powerful tool and tactic to get people to pay attention to your content, right? Like, even when you're listening to the news on regular TV, man shot 3 feet away from you, news at 10. You know, what 5 things are under your cupboard that could kill you in 24 hours or less? Tune in at 6 p.m. broadcast. This is how they get you to tune in. And really, this kind of gender wars stuff is not that much different. It's just a way for them to create negativity and fear by pitting men and women against each other, by really leaning on some extreme stereotypes and maybe even some generational stereotypes, and using these demeaning buzzwords to like Giga Stacy or simp or Chad, or just the entire sentiment that men and women can be reduced down to 1 or 2 words to sum up an entire gender. On one hand, I completely understand and know that these movements are being pushed by far more nefarious minded people, and I'm not going to get into all the politics behind that. But really, what this does is start breaking down the actual relations between men and women, not in the sexual sense, but in the most basic sense, because it creates this kind of scarcity mindset that love is hard to find, or men are trash, or women are evil, or all women are like that. And it's impossible to trust the other sex, and it's impossible to be in a relationship because you're really searching for that one person who's not the absolute worst representation of their gender, or even worse, this mindset that they are out to get us. And queer couplings are not immune to this, because as a lesbian, you may still be consuming this content and internalizing it and having it affect how you date without even really realizing it. This content is designed to make you feel disconnected. It is designed to make you feel like you are alone and frustrated. But it's a trap. When you pay attention to people who have no idea what these gender wars are, don't subscribe to them, don't pay any attention to them, you'll see that the ones who ignore all of this stuff or aren't privy to all of this stuff seek out real, meaningful, beautiful connections. A few episodes ago, I had mentioned that Zendaya and Tom Holland got engaged. That's a couple that a lot of people felt like was an odd pairing. She's a lot more successful in many ways. She's much taller than him. She's definitely the bigger star right now. And yet their relationship is clearly fast-tracked for marriage. Same with Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco. Yes, he's financially successful, but she's the bigger name in the relationship. And she's the one who's a billionaire at this point. And on the other end of the spectrum, there's Jeff Bezos. He's getting married, and he's sometimes listed as the richest man in the world. He's not paying attention to what incels and to the chatter around him about getting married and being locked down to a ball and chain, right? All of these people are not caught up in the online chaos because they are out living their lives. They are moving forward with the understanding that if they open up their heart and can trust and respect, really put themselves out there, that they can end up with someone amazing. These couples, even though I really don't like to focus on celebrities, and I am not judging them and I am not lifting them up in any way, but they are creating relationships because they are not distracted by what's going on online. So instead of buying into the division, start focusing on what you really want from a relationship. And let's work on some ways to kind of undo that mindset. So one of the things you can do that's always helpful is to really get a good goal in mind of what you want. What is the love you desire? What are you hoping for? What do you think is possible? And don't base it on what you're seeing online. So many women will come to me and say things like, I can't possibly see how a man like this could exist, or I don't know anybody in a relationship like this, so it's not real. That's not how it works. Just like you're out there and you're awesome and amazing and believe that you can have the love of your life, someone is out there looking for you too. And another thing you can do is just turn that crap off, okay? Turn off anything that feeds the negativity. Unsubscribe from any channels or accounts that are feeding you this kind of information. Mute conversations that don't serve you and push this stuff further into your consciousness. And just surround yourself with empowering content, because your algorithm is feeding you content that you've interacted with. Whether you are clicking play on it, whether you're giving a thumbs up, maybe liking a comment, leaving a comment. There is something that you've done in the past in your interaction with this content for it to come up in your feed. You want it out of there and just do a deep reset. All of this stuff classifies as rage bait. Rage bait is basically content created to make you so angry that you'll be furious and comment on it, whether or not the creator actually thinks this way. They just want the interaction, right? You have to remember, some of these content creators are making money off of your interaction. So your angry commentary, your thumbs up or likes, your watching their video or reel or whatever could pay off for them financially. So of course they're going to continue pushing stuff, because they, like I said earlier, anger and fear really do force people into giving a reaction of some sort. It's unfortunate, but it's an incredibly effective way to market to people. So because they're trying to get these strong reactions out of you, they trick you into being engaged for all the wrong reasons. These conversations are not going to define your experience of love. So as loud as they are, find a way to ignore them. So we're going to reframe this with an affirmation. And the affirmation is, how am I tuning out the noise to let love in? And that's, how am I tuning out the noise to let love in? Maybe the answer for you is doing a quick Google search to learn how to reset your algorithm. Maybe that means unsubscribing from a few channels and really focusing in on creating a clean reset for your mind so that you are surrounded by better examples of what love can look like, because you can choose to create your own love story, and you can choose to be free of negative societal noise. I want you to use this affirmation to really reframe your approach to dating, and instead of seeing men or women as enemies, look at them as potential partners who complement each other, and realize that maybe it's time to get offline just for a little bit. You want to be out there meeting someone, and it's a little bit hard if you're face down in a screen. Before we end each podcast, I love to focus on gratitude because it is the highest vibration of all. So think of one thing you're grateful for in this moment. I'm grateful that you tuned into my podcast and love you for listening. And remember, when love is on the brain, asking better questions can lead to better answers.